Every hour you spent gaming was training. Real training in your real brain for a game nobody told you how to find. You think you wasted those years? You didn't, Ed. You aimed a rare engine at a world that wipes your save when you log off. 3,000 years ago, a kingdom started to starve. No food, no end in sight. So they did something insane. They invented games. They would play a full day, forget they were hungry, then eat the next. Play, eat for 18 years. And it worked. They survived 2 decades of famine by learning to play. Games were never an escape from survival. They're how humans survive when reality stops feeding them. What does a game feed you? The same 4 things every time. Progress, mastery, belonging, and meaning. Those are not gamer words. They're human needs. And your real life has all 4. It just hides them. No bar over your head, no points for showing up. You went where the feedback was. So move one. Stop trusting the feeling of progress. Start hunting the hidden scoreboard in your life. Now, the part that retires the word lazy, your brain rewires around whatever you repeat. Scientists call it survival of the busiest. Those hours were not nothing, they were reps. You drilled reading brutal systems, managing resources, failing and adjusting, and refusing to quit. The drive was real. The tragedy is what you trained on. The character doesn't transfer. Move 2. The loop you ran to max a character, goal, grind, track, push through the boring middle, level up, also builds a real body skill or career. Run it on one real thing this week, and it cuts deeper than skills. When life went gray and you reached for a game, that was not weakness. The opposite of play is not work. It's depression. A game is the exact inverse. Pure hope that your effort changes something. You were reaching for the cure to your numbness, aimed at the wrong target. So the lesson is to feel proud of your gaming and move on. No, the move is to cash it in. Tonight, pick the game you've sunk the most hours into. Write the real number. Don't flinch. Then list every real skill it forced you to build. Patience, strategy, reading a system, staying calm when everything falls apart. Make the list long. That list is not a record of waste. It's your character sheet, the stats you have already built. You don't need to become a different person. You need a better game. You weren't wasting your time. You were training for a game nobody told you how to find. You already know how to level up. Now aim it at the one world that keeps your score. There was a house where the dishes never got done. Then somebody turned the chores into a game and roommates started fighting over who got to scrub the toilet. Same chores, same gross work. Nothing changed about the job. So what flipped? The gap between everything that drains you and everything that lights you up. A philosopher once boiled every game down to 4 bones: a clear goal, rules, a feedback system, and the fact that you chose to play. That chore game added the one piece your real life is missing: feedback. The dishes got a scoreboard, so suddenly people wanted to play. Your first tool: when something feels like a joyless grind, stop and ask which of those 4 is missing. Almost every time, the answer is the same. You cannot see your progress. Look at your actual life. It is stuffed with goals and rules. What it does not have is a scoreboard. You eat well for 3 weeks, and the mirror says nothing. You do great work for a month, and no number moves. Reality is the richest, highest stakes game ever built. It just shipped without an interface. So move one. Pick one draining task, and bolt a visible signal onto it. A streak, a number, a check mark. Make your progress visible. And it goes deeper than feedback. The second missing piece is choice. Real tasks always arrive sounding like a sentence. Have to, should, supposed to. But the same difficulty feels completely different depending on one thing. Did you choose it or was it dumped on you? A hard workout you signed up for is an adventure. The identical effort forced on you is a punishment. So take one thing you have been dreading and deliberately claim it. Say out loud, I am choosing this. Watch a chore turn into a quest without the task changing at all. So you gamify a few chores and you win at life. No, that is the gimmick version. Here is the real move. The people who actually keep the promises they make to themselves are not grinding harder than you. They quietly structured their lives so the right choice is the easy one. They are better game designers. And here's the catch. You are never the only one designing your quests. The feed in your pocket is a game designer too, handing you missions all day. Either you design your quests or it does. There is no third option. So today, build the interface on one thing. Give it a goal, give it one rule, give it a score you can see, then choose it on purpose. A game is just life with visible feedback. So the most important match of your life has been running the whole time with the sound off. Reach over and turn it up. Researchers filled a room with the smell of fresh-baked cookies, then told half the people they could only eat radishes. What happened next explains why you keep failing at night. Both groups then got an impossible puzzle. The cookie eaters kept trying for 19 minutes. The radish resistors quit and ate. They did not run out of brains. They ran out of the one thing that lets you make yourself do hard things, and you were burning yours before noon. That thing is willpower, and it is not a virtue. It is a resource. One tank. And it is shared. The patience you spend biting your tongue in a meeting is gone when you try to resist dessert that night. So you hit the thing that matters already empty and call yourself lazy. Move one. Stop blowing your bar on 100 tiny battles. Spend the sharpest part of your morning on the one thing that counts. Save the junk decisions for when you are low. But the biggest thief robs you before you are even awake. Every notification you resist is a tiny withdrawal. People pour the freshest slice of their willpower into a feed, then stagger into their real priorities on empty. You are not weak, you got pickpocketed at the door. Move two, draw a bright line. One absolute rule that kills the decision. Not cut back, never. No phone in the bedroom. The wall does the resisting, so you do not have to. It gets sneakier. 2 traps run almost every failure. First you slip once and a voice says, "Well, I already blew it, might as well blow it all the way." The slip did nothing. The spiral after it did all the damage. Second, when you are calm, you cannot feel how you will act when you are tired and craving. Your sensible self makes promises your future self never keeps. So just be more disciplined? No, that is the losing move. Here is what people with real self-control do. They do not win the cookie fight, they never walk into the cookie room. They spend a little willpower once, in advance, then coast on structure instead of grit. So pre-commit while you are strong. Do not keep the junk in the house so your depleted self cannot eat what is not there. Put the alarm across the room. Make the decision once with a full bar and it hardens into a wall. And a wall never gets tired. Finite does not mean doomed. The winning move was never to have more willpower. It was to need less of it. Stop trying to be strong enough to resist the cookie. Stop keeping cookies in the house. Build the wall today while you are strong. For the night, you will not be. Whether a prisoner walked free could come down to whether the judge had eaten lunch. Your goals are dying the exact same way. Real judges, real cases. Their yes rate sank as the morning wore on, then jumped right back after a break. It is called decision fatigue. It is running your life, and it is why willpower will never be enough. Every choice you make drains the same tank. So by the time you reach what you actually care about, your depleted self grabs the cheapest option. Not now, maybe tomorrow. So you chase motivation. But motivation is weather. It rolls in, feels amazing, then rolls out. You cannot build on weather. A system is architecture. It holds sun or no sun. Move one. Stop waiting to feel ready. Pick one tiny daily action, glue it to something you already do, and never decide to start again. Here is why most systems die. People build them for their best, most motivated self, then act shocked when their tired, average self refuses to run them. So make the daily action insultingly small. Not work out for an hour. Put on the shoes. Not write the chapter. Write one sentence. Build for the worst version of you, because that is the version who shows up most days. Shrink it until even your most drained self cannot say no. A streak that survives the bad days is worth 10 that only run on the good ones. You are not the only one building systems. The feed is a professional one, engineered and tested on millions, built to beat your willpower. You cannot out-willpower it. The only thing that beats a system is another system. So put your own structure between you and theirs. So just build a system and you are set. Almost. But most break, and here's how to know why before yours does. When a system fails, it almost never means you failed. Self-control needs 4 parts. A clear standard, a way to see where you stand, the energy to act, and a reason to care. When something breaks, one of those 4 is missing. Quit the gym again? You had no clear standard. Get fit is a fog, not a target. Drifting off a plan? You stopped watching the numbers and went blind. Run the checklist, not the shame. Standard, monitoring, energy, reason. Which one is gone? That is a diagnosis, not a verdict, and the missing piece is usually cheap to add back. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Motivation has one job. Last long enough to build the system that replaces it. So build the machine today. Tiny action. Fixed trigger. A streak you can see. Then let it carry you on the days you cannot carry yourself. Why can you lock into a game for 6 hours but not a book for 6 minutes? The answer means your attention is not broken. You keep saying you have a short attention span like it is your eye color. It is not a fact about you. It is a report on your training, and you have been drilling the wrong muscle thousands of times a day. Your brain physically rewires around whatever you repeat, so your focus is not fixed. It is built. There are two kinds. Deep focus, locked onto one hard thing, where real understanding forms, and shallow focus, the fast, skimming, jumping mode. Every link and every notification is a tiny order to jump, and you have obeyed it so many times that the deep muscle went slack. Move one. Stop calling it broken. Start treating focus like a muscle you can train back. Here is the workout. Pick one hard task, one screen. No phone in the room, set a timer for 20 minutes, and do not let yourself jump. When the urge to switch comes, and it will, notice it and stay. That staying is the rep. That is the curl. Next week, 25 minutes, then 30. Progressive overload, just like the gym. Book one 20-minute single task block today and treat every urge to jump as the weight. Those first reps will feel terrible. Your mind bucks like a horse, throwing up every reason to check or escape. Most people feel that and assume it means stop. It means keep going. That burn is the deep focus circuit firing after a long sleep. You already know the burn is where growth lives, so just white-knuckle your way to focus. No, willpower is the wrong tool here. The biggest lever is not grit. It is putting the phone in another room, not face down on the desk, another room. As long as it is within reach, part of your mind is burning energy, resisting it, and resisting drains you. So do not resist. Remove it. Make deep work the path of least resistance with nothing to jump to. And here's why this works for you. You have already trained elite deep focus. You have sat locked into a game for hours, holding huge complexity and ignoring the world. The hardware works. You do not need to build this skill from zero. You need to respec. Take the focus you maxed out in one world and reassign it here. You are not someone who cannot focus. You are someone who proved you can focus ferociously, aimed at the wrong screen. The same rewiring that scattered your attention can rebuild it. So book the block, bench the phone, run the rep. Your attention was never broken. It was untrained, and untrained is one of the most fixable things there is. You are training your brain right now, and you did not pick the workout. Somebody else did, and they do not work for you. Researchers rewired people's brains in under a week just from a few hours a day online. So the time you call relaxing is not neutral. Every minute of it is a rep, and the feed has been choosing every single one. There is no idle screen time. Your brain adapts in days, so everything you give attention to is a rep. Reps build whatever you repeat. Scroll all day and you become an elite scroller, world-class at skimming, comparing, and reacting. The training works. That is the horror. You are just mastering the wrong skill. Move one. Accept that you are always training and become the one who picks the reps. But you did not pick this workout. An algorithm did. The feed is a personal trainer you never hired, who does not work for you. It runs you through reps all day, not to build you, but to keep you training so your attention can be sold. You are not the player in this game. You are the loot, and it is a loop. Every tap teaches it what hooks you, then it serves more of exactly that. Tighter every pass. Watch for it. The more you engage with what makes you angry, the more of it floods in. That is the loop working perfectly. Here is the cruel part. It learns you from your past, from what you clicked yesterday, and feeds you more of that person. It has no idea who you are trying to become, and it would not care if it did. Every unchosen rep is a vote for the person you are trying to leave behind. So just grit your teeth and scroll less? No. You cannot out-discipline a machine that learns you faster than you learn yourself. You beat it by design, not willpower. Tomorrow morning, before you open a single feed, run one chosen rep. Read something hard. Write, build, move. One swap where a default rep used to be. Then audit the rest like a training program. Unfollow the feeds that train comparison. Follow the makers who train ambition. And steal the trick that made the scroll addictive. Give your real reps visible progress so they pull you the same way the scroll does. What you feed your attention becomes the weather you live in. Train on outrage all day and you will feel anxious and behind. Train on what sharpens you and your inner world changes shape. You can practice your way into a mood, which means you can practice your way out. Every click is a rep and you never get to stop training. So pick the workout before the machine picks it for you. The most dangerous thing on your phone is not what you see. It is what you will never know was taken out. A man who deliberately followed people he disagreed with, watched them quietly vanish from his feed. He never clicked a thing to remove them. If a machine can edit a world that completely without him noticing, what is it doing to yours? In a game, the boss is obvious. Music shifts, a health bar appears, and the thing is clearly trying to kill you. That is why you can beat it. The bosses wrecking your real life are not like that. They look like conveniences. Autoplay loading the next video before you decide. The notification in a specific shade of red because red means urgent. You cannot beat a boss you cannot see. So move one. Stop blaming your willpower and start naming the boss. Here is why it works so well. Your feed is not a window on the world, it is a mirror, bent to keep you staring. Two people search the same word and get two different worlds, and when it hides something, a viewpoint, a person, a whole way of seeing, it leaves no gap. You cannot miss what you never knew was there. That is what makes it worse than censorship. A blacked out line you know to distrust. This leaves nothing to distrust. So move two. Assume your feed is edited and go to the source instead of swallowing the pre-chewed version. It is worse than that. You are alone in the bubble, so you cannot compare notes. It is invisible, so it feels like the whole truth. And you never chose it. It was done to you by default while you were busy living. So just resist the scroll harder? No. You will lose the same way you always have. You do not beat the invisible bosses by resisting. You disarm them. Turn off every notification. Kill autoplay. Log out so opening the app takes a deliberate act, not a reflex. Move the apps into another room. Unfollow the accounts that feed you outrage. Each move makes the boss weaker, not you stronger, by stripping away its hooks. The rule is simple. Make the good default easy and the bad default hard. Add friction to the scroll and strip it off the book. You are not outfighting the boss. You are redesigning the level so it can barely reach you. Today, run one audit. List every attention thief, name it, and write the kill switch beside it. A boss you have disarmed is not a boss anymore. It is just a tool waiting for you to pick up. Name them, disarm them, and the hours it was farming come flooding back. If you do not pick your quests, the feed will, so take the controller back. Discipline was never your real problem. You keep handing your day to the wrong version of yourself, and that version always picks the snack. There are two of you. One saves the good documentary for later. The other watches garbage at 11 at night. The feed bets everything on the second one and usually wins. Here is how you put the first one in charge. A woman got a concussion so severe she could not read or think and began having suicidal thoughts. So she did something strange. She turned her recovery into a game, a secret identity. Her family became allies. Her symptoms became the bad guys. Power-ups became a minute of sunlight or one good sentence. She did not wait to feel motivated. She built a game and played it and slowly climbed out. You do not start a mission by finding motivation. You start by designing one. Move one. Stop waiting to feel ready and build the mission. A clear goal, one rule, a way to see progress, and the fact that you chose it. But a mission only pulls you if it points toward who you are becoming, not who you have been. Carry one question to every fork in your day. Does this serve who I was or who I am becoming? Run the scroll through it. The workout. The thing you avoid. That question turns a blurry day into a line of clear choices. Move two. Pick 2 or 3 missions, no more, each tied to who you want to become. And it is worse than losing one evening. Lose enough forks to your present self and you drift year after year from who you meant to be. So do you need to find your one true purpose first? No. Waiting for that is what keeps people frozen for years. You do not need the grand answer. You need a direction. Stop asking, what is my purpose? Ask instead, what would a slightly better version of me do this week? Not the final version of you, just one notch up. That person is easy to picture and always points to an obvious next step. Start the thing, send the message, do the workout, follow them. Then next week, follow the next version. Clarity does not produce action. Action produces clarity. You meet who you are becoming by walking toward them. Stop drifting through whatever washes up. Aim your life one chosen mission at a time, and notice where meaning points, almost always outward. Build something people use. Get strong enough to carry the people you love. The mission was never selfish. It is how you become someone with something to give. You do not need your purpose. You need the next quest. So ask what a slightly better version of you would do and go do it today. Feel empty after 3 hours online, not because you wasted the time, but because you only ate and never cooked. Humanity beat starvation so completely it invented obesity. We did the same thing with information, and now you are starving at the buffet. The way out is not consuming less. It is the one thing almost nobody does. For most of history, knowledge was scarce. Then we made it infinite, free, and engineered to be irresistible. So you are not starved for information. You are information obese, overloaded with outrage, gossip, and endless scrolling. Yes, consume closer to the source. But the real shift, the one that changes a life, is to produce more than you consume. Move 1. Tomorrow, create before you consume. Make one thing before you take anything in. Write a paragraph. Build one piece. Here is why this is not optional. 2 truths people treat as opposites are really one sentence. First, your attention is finite and the flood always wins. You cannot win the consumption game. No amount of skimming keeps up with infinity. Second, which is exactly why the answer was never to consume faster, you do not outdrink a flood. So stop playing the game you cannot win and switch to the one you can. Creation. Your attention is too precious for a bottomless feed. Spend it building. Move 2. Pick one thing to build and ship it this week, however badly. Building has a hidden bonus. Everything you learn by scrolling evaporates because you made nothing from it. The moment you build something out of an idea, it finally becomes yours. So do you have to make something good? No. That belief is exactly what keeps people stuck. The first version of anything is supposed to be bad. That is not failure. It is the entry fee, the price almost nobody pays, which is why almost nobody builds. Ship version 1, the ugly draft, the clumsy first build. Get it into existence, because version 1 is the only thing that becomes version 10. You already know this from games. Nobody clears the hard level on the first try. You die, adjust, die, adjust. The dying was always the method. Here is the reward reality almost never stages. Finish something real and you get a true epic win, the real version of what you chase on a screen. Farmers never get it, builders do, because the epic win is reserved for people who finish. Make the bad thing today, then make it less bad. A year of consuming leaves you where you started, only older. A year of building leaves you standing on a year of finished things, somewhere you have never been. That is the difference between fuel and progress. One burns and disappears. The other becomes the person you are. By their early 20s, most gamers have logged around 10,000 hours of play, almost exactly the time they spent sitting in school. That is not wasted time. 10,000 hours is what it takes to master anything. You did not blow a decade. You finished an apprenticeship. The only question left is what you point those powers at next. Under the stereotype, you trained the exact things a hard life demands. The reflex that the next attempt might be the one, and the rarest one of all. In a hard game, most of your time is failing, and you keep going because the game taught you to read failure as information, not a verdict. Out here, most people quit the first time something does not work. You spent years learning not to flinch. Move 1. Next time something fails, Treat it the way the game taught you. A near win, a try again. Data. Here is the rule that carries everything. Never play a 0 day. A 0 is a day that moved your real character forward by nothing. On the great days, do a lot. On the worst days, when you are sick, broke, or falling apart, do one small thing. 1 rep, 1 sentence, 1 call, however small, but never 0. It asks almost nothing. So your weakest self can always meet it, and it runs on the force underneath this entire book. Compounding. 1 rep is nothing. A life with no 0 days is enormous. So just grind harder every day. No, this is the opposite of grinding. Never 0 is not a feat of willpower. It is the system that makes willpower unnecessary because the bar is on the floor. So do 2 things. Name your main quest. Not your destiny, just the honest direction of this season. Get genuinely strong. Build the thing you keep only consuming. Anyone counts. Name it badly today, rather than perfectly never, because naming it turns the lights on. Then make the rule sacred. 1 action toward it every day, no matter what, and let the streak become the scoreboard reality never gave you. And to the oldest fear, the one shadowing you the whole way, I have wasted so much time. I am so far behind. You cannot reload the past, but the only day that ever counted is today. Yesterday's zeros get no vote. The chain starts the moment you decide. Most people reach their main quest with no training. You arrive with 10,000 hours of it. You are not behind, you are armed. So the question this began with, if life were a game, how would you play differently? You already know. You would protect your energy, train your focus, disarm the bosses, write your own missions, and refuse gently and daily to ever play a 0 day. Now go play.